Good morning, students. Welcome to the online classes in physics, the enrichment classes for standard 12th. Today, we shall do some subjective questions based on magnetism. Biot-Savart law, Ampere circuit law, these two would form the basic, the crux of today's discussion. So we have already discussed about these particular uh, laws. So we'll see some of them, some of the numericals, good numericals based on these two particular topics. The first one question you can see on the board, students. An insulating circular disc, radius A is equal to 20 centimeter. So let me draw the disc. This is an insulator. It has a certain radius. That radius is A. A is 20 centimeter. So this is A. That is 0.2 meter. It has uniformly distributed surface charge density of a pi coulomb per meter square. On its entire surface, there is some charge distribution, and that is sigma, that is equal to pi coulomb per meter square. Sigma, you should understand, students, it is charge per unit area. This disk rotates about its center. So about this center, it is rotating with some angular speed that is constant and is given as 100 radians per second. We have to find magnetic field at the center. See, if you see a particular strip, thin strip of this particular uh, disk, it will have some charge because of this surface charge density. Basically, if you see a point charge over here, it will move in a circle. Now, charge moving in a circle is just like a current loop, and that current loop will have some magnetic field at the center. So we have to find the current. Now the thing is that the charge over here will trace a circle like this. The charge over here will trace a bigger circle. So the currents might be different. We are not sure. So we will need the concept of integration. For a particular ring, if you, for a particular charge, it will be moving in circle like this. So it will be like a current loop. For a current loop, students, you know the formula for magnetic field at the center is given by B is equal to mu naught I by 2R. But different charges are moving in different circles of different radii. So we need to use the concept of integration. First, at a distance x, we draw a circle. We take a thickness dx and we draw an element in the form of a ring. This thickness is negligibly small compared to x. So this thickness, the shaded part, is dx. Its radius is how much? X. And its thickness, this thickness is how much? Dx. What will be this surface area? This area of this ring will be 2 pi x times dx. The perimeter times this thickness will be the area. On that ring area, how much charge will be there? Just multiply this with sigma. Sigma is the charge per unit area. So this, if we multiply with this area of shaded portion, then I will get this charge on this element, which is of thickness dx and has a radius x. Now this ring is rotating. So this much charge is present and this much charge is rotating with some time period. What is the time period? Time period is 2 pi by omega. Now on that disk, different points, this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, all those points have same omega. Omega is equal to 100 radian per second. So time period and omega, students, you know, they are related using this particular relation. So T is 2 pi by omega. Therefore the current, this generator is a small amount of current. Let me call it as DI. The current due to motion of the charges in this particular ring around this center, that current will be charge flowing per unit time. So for one rotation, we will take time as capital T. Okay. So this will become 2 pi x dx into sigma by 2 pi by omega. So 2 pi will cancel. So the current will be sigma is a constant, omega is also a constant, times x times dx. I'll just solve it in a general method. You can put the values afterwards yourself. Due to this element current in the ring, there will be some magnetic field at the center. That magnetic field dB will be mu naught times, instead of I will write di upon 2 into radius. Radius is not r, radius is x. So how much we get? So this becomes mu naught upon 2x multiplied by di. Di is sigma omega x dx. So x will also cancel. Therefore, the total magnetic field will be B is equal to, at the center, integration of this number mu naught sigma omega dx upon 2, and the limits will be from x is equal to this point to this point, so that we can cover all the parts of the disk. So 0 to r. Now mu naught sigma omega 2, these are constants. The integration dx will be left. Integration dx is x, and the limits will be from 0 to r. So answer will be simply this much. So let me verify. The answer is sigma omega a by 2. Oh, sorry. Radius is not capital. No? Radius is a. Instead of r, I should write a. And then you can put the values. You will get the answer. Answer. Let me, for your reference, give the answer 40 micro Tesla. This is the solution to this question. So here first we have to find at the center the magnetic field to a small circular ring. That if there is a ring, what should be the magnetic field? There is a current in this particular ring. How do you find the current? Current is charge flowing per unit time. A particular charge in one time period, it will make one round. So the current was, time we have taken as time period. So time period becomes 2 pi by omega. And in one time period, how much charge is crossing? So charge per unit area is given sigma into that much. Okay. Let us see another question. Let's see now question number 2. Here we can see that a straight wire has been bent in the shape shown. It has a straight segment, it has a circular segment, and again it has a straight segment. Now these two are not touching, but they are very, very close. You can assume that they are almost touching, but there is no contact between these 2 points, and it extends till infinity. Okay. Now the question is to find the magnetic field at the center O of this particular element. So this magnetic field we can find easily using the known formulae. So this in total magnetic field B at center, I'll divide this segment into 3 parts. So now these 2 parts, you can take it, you can consider it as a infinitely long straight wire. I told there is no contact, but you can assume them to be a single straight current carrying conductor. So this current is how much? I. And it is infinitely long. It is somewhere in the middle of this particular conductor. For that, B due to this straight wire, I'll call it as B1. So B1 will be how much? Mu naught I by 2 pi d. D is the distance of this point from this wire. The distance is nothing but radius. So mu naught I by 2 pi r. Next comes the direction. Now this is the wire. This straight wire you have to hold in your right palm, thumb pointing in the direction of current. then fingers will curl in the direction of magnetic field. So if we hold like so, fingers will curl like this. We have to find magnetic field at point O. O is here. So at O, you can see, students, the magnetic field lines will point towards the reader out of the board. So magnetic field I will represent it by dot. Okay. Then due to circular segment, the magnetic field I will write as D2. So B2 will be how much? For a circular segment, magnetic field will be mu naught I upon 2R at the center. But direction, you can see it is moving, as current is moving clockwise. So we'll curl our fingers in clockwise sense. Then we find that the thumb is pointing inwards. Inwards means it will be into the board. So it is clear that these two directions are opposite. Therefore, the total magnetic field when you find, don't add, subtract these two values. So the net magnetic field B at O will be mu naught I by 2 pi r minus mu naught I by 2r, and the direction will be dot. I took this as a positive, this as a negative. Now some values might be given. R is equal to I is equal to something, values will be given. You calculate those values. If this answer comes to be positive, your answer will be dot. And if this answer comes out to be negative, your answer will be cross. Current magnetic field will be cross into the board. So that way you can find the direction and magnitude of magnetic field. Next question that we discuss, third one, is also an important question. There is a sheet, very thin sheet, conducting thin sheet, like this. This is a sheet of charge, sorry, current, conducting sheet, and it is infinitely long. So they have taken this as x-axis. Okay. Let me read the question for you. Given figure shows a cross section of an infinite conducting sheet. So suppose this is the sheet. This is a paper. So it is placed like this. The sheet is perpendicular to the plane of board. So board is in vertical plane, sheet is horizontal. Okay. The sheet carries a current per unit x length of lambda is equal to pi ampere per meter. Now what it is given? Current per unit x length. That means along x axis, unit length if you choose, in that the current is how much? Lambda is equal to pi ampere per meter. Okay. The current emerges perpendicularly out of the page. Out of the page, so I'll write out of the board. So current direction is like this. So let me try to explain. The sheet is like so. This is the sheet, and current is flowing in this direction like this. It is coming out of the board, out of the board. So the direction of current is like so, and current is distributed throughout this sheet on unit length. When you see from this side, this sheet will not look like rectangle, it will look like a line. That line I have drawn. On unit length of that line, of that sheet, the current is how much? Pi amperes. Okay. Question is, find the value of fields, magnetic field at points D1 and D2. 2 points are mentioned here. Suppose at a point above it, at a point below it. You have to find magnetic field at D1 and D2. I will not use these values, so I'll just do the general method. First of all, see the direction of current. Since it is out of the board, like so. What we will do, we will divide this entire sheet into thin strips. Suppose I take a strip here, then I'll take a strip here. Then likewise, I can draw many number of strips, very thin strips. In each strip, the direction of current will be perpendicular to the plane of board. Current will be coming like this. And how much will be the current? Current will be, if you choose this strip of thickness dx, current will be lambda into dx. Okay. First of all, at these 2 points d1 and d2, let us decide the direction of current. Now, using arguments of symmetry and Barrett's-Watt law, we can guess about this particular uh, direction. See, each conducting uh, rod-like structure which we will have, this is like a thin wire, thin wire, thin wire. Each strip that will be straight. Current is out of the board. So current is out of the board means like so. So we will curl our fingers like this. We will get circles like this. This will be the direction of magnetic field. So at this point, the direction of magnetic field will be in that direction here. And at this point, the direction of magnetic field will be opposite like this. I'll call it as B1, I'll call it as B2. And if they are at equal distance, the values will also be same. B and B. Now you might feel why I did not draw like this, like this. So symmetry says it all. So there is no point in uh, choosing one direction over other direction. It has to be flat like this. So the magnetic field direction at points above this seat will be parallel to this seat in this direction towards left, and below it will be in opposite direction. Now we have to find the values of this B1 and B2. So what I will do, I'll draw an Amperian loop like so in the form of a rectangle. Okay, so let me draw this properly. So this is our Amperian loop. And in this Amperian loop, we would use the Ampere's circuital law, that is integral B dot dl in closed path integral of magnetic field is mu naught times I enclosed. And let me choose the length of this as L and breadth let me choose as B. This integral, let us start from this point. So we can divide it into 4 parts: B dot dl across this path, across this path, across this path, and across this path. 4. Across this path, you can see B vector and dl vector. They point in same direction. So B dot dl will become simply B into dl. B into dl. Across this path, you can see here the magnetic field is perpendicular to dl vector. Dl vector is like so, but magnetic field is towards right. So they are perpendicular to each other. And when you cross this position, magnetic field is again here. Magnetic field is towards right. Here magnetic field is towards left. But in either case, the magnetic fields are perpendicular to dl vector element. So since they are perpendicular, so B dot dl becomes 0 in this part. Likewise, B dot dl will be 0 in this part also. So we are left with this part. So here, let me name it as A, B, C, D. So I have B dot dl from A to B, then from B to C, then from C to D, and from D to A. And this total has to be mu naught times I enclosed. Okay. Now, as I discussed earlier, so this becomes B into dl into cos 0, and the integration is from A to B. So A to B, this length is L. So this becomes B into L. This becomes 0, perpendicular. Third one, again B vector and dl vector in this part from C to D are in same direction. So B into L, and plus in this part 0 is mu naught times I enclosed. So BL and BL occurs twice. So we have twice of BL is equal to mu naught times now I enclosed. I enclosed is the total current that pierces through the surface enclosed by the Amperian loop. This is our Amperian loop. Let us choose this rectangular surface, flat surface, as the surface enclosed by the Amperian loop. Now, through this flat surface, how much current is coming out? So, current is coming out in this particular segment, that is I. Per unit length, how much current is there? Lambda. I'm not putting the value pi. So what is this length? L. So what will be total current that comes out? Lambda into L. So I enclosed will be simply lambda times L. So L will cancel, and therefore B will become mu naught lambda upon 2. The numerals, you can put the values. Lambda is equal to pi. Mu naught is 4 pi 10 to the power minus 7. You will get some answer. I'll discuss one more question. This is also very important. So let's see question number 4. Now the next question is very interesting ones. You can see a good figure in the on the board. Let me read the question for you first. Find the magnetic induction. Magnetic induction means you have to find B, magnetic field, what we commonly call. Find the magnetic induction at a point on the axis due to an infinitely long thin conductor with a semicircular cross section of radius capital R is equal to 10 centimeter, carrying uniform current I is equal to pi ampere. I value is given, R value is given. I'm not writing the values. First, you have to understand that, so for example, this one is a cylindrical wire. You can assume it to be a cylindrical wire. Along the axis from the, if you cut it into two equal halves along the axis, you will get two semicircular part. This is one of the semicircular part. And it is asked on its axis, there is a point O. So if you complete this circle, O will be the center of that particular uh, circle. At O, you have to find the magnetic field. Let me repeat the question once again. Find the magnetic induction B at a point on the axis due to an infinite thin conductor with a semicircular cross section of some radius R carrying uniform current I. Now this I is flowing on the surface. So there is a semicircular surface. The cross section is semicircular. So I is flowing in this part like so. So let's see how to solve it. First of all, we choose a small element like so. Let this angle be theta, and the element subtend, this element subtends an angle d theta. This angle will take as d theta. And the value of magnetic field here due to this element we have to find. Now this element is on this surface. So this is the semicircular wire, suppose. Don't consider it as cylindrical, consider it as semi-cylindrical. Upper half, you imagine it is not present. On that, from the front side, when you see, you look at it from that side, you see this strip. That strip, if I turn this particular wire, that strip will appear in the form of an infinitely long wire which carries some current into the board. Current direction is into the board, okay? So this current I is distributed over this length. What is this length? Half the circumference of a full circle, that is pi r. So current per unit length will be I upon pi r. So on this small strip, the current will be I by pi r into length of this strip. Let the length of this strip, I take it as dl. So into dl. So this is the total current through this infinitely long thin strip element. Now this strip element is like a infinite long current carrying wire. So due to it, the magnetic field at O will be how much? The magnetic field at O, I'll represent it as dB1. This element I am considering as first element. That magnetic field will be, you know the formula, mu naught I by 2 pi d. This is the formula. But instead of I, we should write this di. Now how much is di? Di is I by pi r into dl, and instead of d I should write radius. So this becomes mu naught I dl upon 2 pi square r square. Then dl I can write as, in this dl is r d theta, so dl I can write as r times d theta. So one r will cancel, so db1 we have got how much? Mu naught I upon 2 pi square r and then d theta. Let us see now the direction. I will draw that over here. See, suppose this is the element dl. Current is entering into the board. So current I'll represent by cross. And this point O, I will draw here. O. If current is entering into the board, we should curl our fingers like this. If you draw a circle, that will be the pattern of magnetic field line. And exactly at this point, the direction of magnetic field will be along the tangent. So this is dB1 vector. Okay, perpendicular to this. So dB1 vector will be perpendicular to this. This is dB1. This is 90 degree. Okay. Now a symmetric element we will choose on the other side. So let me indicate that this angle uh, was theta. Okay. We'll choose a symmetric element. That means if I drop a perpendicular from the center O over here, whatever angle is this element making, this element will also make same angle with this axis, symmetrically placed. Same length dl, same current, same distance of this point O. So the value of magnetic field dB2 will be same as dB1. So I'm not writing it again. But the direction, for finding the direction from here, again we will see that the current is entering into the board. Holding it in our right palm, we'll curl our fingers, so the fingers will curl in this particular direction. So that will give the pattern of magnetic field lines. Let us try to draw over here. This element I am drawing here. This element was this one, this element is this one. Due to this, the magnetic field I'll write as dB2. So at this point we will draw a circle like so, and the magnetic field will be perpendicular to this radius, like this. We'll call it as dB2. Sorry, opposite way. That way. Sorry. Fingers will curl in that particular direction. So this will be our dB2. Now you can see these two vectors we can resolve along this axis and this axis. So this component will add up and these components will cancel. Now what are these components? You can see this is theta, so this will be 90 minus theta. So again this is theta, so this I can write it as dB1 cos theta. This one will be dB1 sin theta. This one will be dB2 cos theta and other one dB2 sin theta. So the sin theta components will add up and the cos theta components will cancel. Please pay attention to this particular figure. You have to imagine about the directions. It will take some time. Don't worry, take time. But the thing is, instead of jumping over to writing the components as cos theta, sin theta easily, please give some time. Therefore, this is true for two elements. Likewise, we can choose symmetrically placed pairs of different elements. So the total magnetic field B will be therefore obtained by integrating dB sin theta. Now how much is our dB? dB is mu naught I upon 2 pi square r d theta, and this sin theta we will multiply. And the limits of integration, theta I have to move from this end to this end. So theta will change from 0 to pi. Now this is what we have to solve. So mu naught I 2 pi square r, it will come out. We will be left with integration sine theta. Integration sine theta, you know, students, is minus cos theta, and this will be 0 to pi. So mu naught I by 2 pi square r minus, I can take it outside. Then cos pi minus cos 0. Cos pi is minus 1 minus cos 0 is 1. So this becomes minus 2 and this minus sign. So it becomes plus 2. So 2 and this 2 will cancel. How much will be left? Mu naught I upon pi square r. Yes, that is the answer, mu naught I by pi square r. It was a good question, students. So I would request you to please revise it again and practice it once again in your notebook on your own. So today we'll stop here. In the next class, we'll come up with some more questions. These will be beneficial to you only when after solving them. If I'm solving 4 questions, you should try yourself 40 to 50 questions yourself. And then whatever doubts you are having, please put them in the query link is provided in your school's website. So we'll see again in next class some more numericals. So till then, take care, students. Goodbye. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.